I'll be honest, at first, it felt awesome. The acceleration, the reactions from people, the feeling of blowing past normal golf carts like they were standing still. I thought I had built the ultimate machine, a golf cart that could outrun almost anything in the neighborhood. And for a while, it was fun, until I realized something terrifying. Golf carts are absolutely not designed for the kind of speed I pushed mine to, and the faster it got, the more dangerous it became. Not just for me, for everyone around me. Today, I'm going to tell you the full story of how I made my golf cart way too fast, why it almost became a disaster, and the mistakes thousands of golf cart owners are making right now without realizing it. Because trust me, there's a point where upgrading stops being smart and starts becoming reckless. So strap in, subscribe, and enable those notifications. Let's get started. Let's be honest. Almost every golf cart owner thinks about speed upgrades eventually. You buy a stock cart, and after a few weeks, 15 miles per hour starts feeling painfully slow. Then you see YouTube videos, people flying down roads at 40 miles per hour, modified carts smoking regular carts in races, huge tires, lift kits, high torque motors, and suddenly, your perfectly fine golf cart feels boring. That's exactly what happened to me. At first, I only wanted a little more speed, nothing crazy, maybe just enough to keep up with traffic in the neighborhood. But here's the problem. Speed upgrades are addictive. You do one modification, then immediately want another. First, it's a controller upgrade, then bigger batteries, then a high-speed motor, then larger tires. Then suddenly you're searching how to make a golf cart go 40 miles per hour. And that's where things start getting dangerous. The first upgrade felt harmless. I upgraded the controller. Immediately, the cart felt more alive. Better throttle response, more acceleration, more excitement. Then I swapped the stock motor. Now the cart really woke up. Suddenly I was pulling away from other carts effortlessly. People started noticing. The faster your cart is, the more impressive it seems. At least at first. But here's what nobody tells you. Every speed upgrade pushes the cart further away from what it was engineered to handle. And eventually, you start stressing parts that were never meant for that kind of power. The first scary moment happened during a turn. Nothing dramatic, no crash, but I felt the cart lean harder than usual. And suddenly I realized, this thing feels unstable. That's when it hit me. Golf carts are narrow, lightweight, high center of gravity vehicles. They are not sports cars. Most stock golf carts were designed around low-speed operation, not aggressive cornering, not sudden braking from high speeds. And once you start increasing speed, you discover all the weaknesses very quickly. Steering starts feeling twitchy. Brakes suddenly feel weak. Stopping distances get scary. Even bumps in the road feel different. At lower speeds, a pothole is annoying. At high speeds, that same pothole can throw the entire cart off balance. And that's when I realized something important. Making a golf cart faster is easy. Making it safe at those speeds, that's the hard part. Nobody talks enough about brakes, and this is probably the biggest mistake people make. They spend thousands on speed upgrades while leaving the stock braking system untouched. That's insane. Because once your speed doubles, your stopping demands increase massively. And golf cart brakes are often tiny compared to automotive systems. When I pushed my cart harder, I started noticing brake fade. The pedal felt softer, stopping distances got longer. And that's terrifying when a car suddenly pulls out in front of you. People forget, golf carts share roads now. You're no longer driving on a quiet golf course. And the faster your cart gets, the less reaction time you have. At 15 miles per hour, mistakes are manageable. At 40 miles per hour, mistakes become emergencies. Then came the battery problems. Because speed comes at a cost. Higher speeds mean higher current draw, more heat, more stress on the entire electrical system. And once you start pushing performance hard, cheap setups get exposed very quickly. Battery temperatures rise, connections heat up, range drops dramatically, and if your wiring isn't done correctly, things can get dangerous fast. There are people out there throwing random performance parts together without understanding electrical load. That's risky, very risky, especially with lithium conversions becoming more common. A badly built, high-performance setup isn't just unreliable, it can become a fire hazard. And this is where I realized I had crossed the line. I wasn't just modifying a golf cart anymore. I was building something the original platform was never truly designed to become. Here's the biggest myth. If it can go fast, it should go fast. Wrong. Just because a golf cart can physically hit 40 miles per hour doesn't mean it should. Speed changes everything. Handling, braking, stability, reaction time. And golf carts simply don't have the engineering margins of real cars. No airbags, minimal crash protection, short wheelbase, light frames, small tires. People underestimate how dangerous these combinations become at high speed, especially when many golf carts are driven in crowded communities filled with pedestrians and other vehicles. And honestly, a lot of people modifying carts today are chasing speed without respecting physics. That's the real problem. Looking back, I approached upgrades the wrong way. I focused on speed first instead of balance. What I should have done was upgrade brakes first, as well as improve suspension and steering stability. Because a well-balanced 25 miles per hour golf cart feels far better than a sketchy 40 miles per hour cart. That's something experienced builders understand. The best builds aren't always the fastest. They're the safest, most predictable, and confidence-inspiring. Anybody can throw power at a golf cart. Building one that actually feels stable and trustworthy? That takes real planning. So did I regret making my golf cart too fast? Honestly, yes. Not because speed itself is bad, but because I underestimated what came with it. I treated the cart like a toy, when in reality, once you start heavily modifying these things, they become real vehicles with real risks. And the scary part is, a lot of people don't realize that until something almost goes wrong. Or worse, actually does. So if you're thinking about making your golf cart faster, do it intelligently, respect the platform, respect the limits. And remember, the goal shouldn't be building the fastest cart possible, but building one you can actually trust. Thank you for watching this educative story time. If you've had close call speed experiences, I'd love to hear it all in the comments. Drop a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you're always first in line whenever we drop new videos. Once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.